Good morning. My name is Donna Christensen, and I work with the Washington State Catholic Conference. It is my honor to share with you the state budgeting process and how we as Catholics can be advocates in that process. In their 2020 introductory letter on forming consciences for faithful citizenship, the Catholic bishops of the United States remind us that as Catholics, we bring the richness of our faith to the public square. We draw from both faith and reason as we seek to affirm the dignity of the human person and as we work in service for the common good. Faithful citizenship reminds us of our responsibility to participate in public life. One of the most impactful ways we can contribute is in the creation and adoption of public budgets. Catholics from every walk of life can bring their faith and our consistent formal framework to contribute to the budgeting process. In the recognition of the dignity of all persons, we also bring civility to a process that needs thoughtful listening, critical thinking, and constructive dialogue, which results in solutions for the common good. To that end, let me share with you how the Washington state budget process works and how you may play a role. In Washington, legislators and the governor are required to adopt a balanced operating budget biennially, or every 2 years, as well as a 4-year projection. The biennial budget process begins as soon as the even-numbered fiscal year ends on June 30th. For example, the process for the adoption of the 2023 budget began on June 30th of 2022. At that time, state agencies began to develop requests for the biennium that must be submitted to the Office of Financial Management, or OFM as it's known. These are due in September. OFM and the governor's office review the agency decision packages and choose what will be added to the governor's budget proposal. That proposal must be submitted to the legislature in December of even-numbered years. When the legislature convenes for regular session in January, the House Appropriations and Senate Ways and Means Committees will be reviewing the governor's proposal and will hold public hearings on that proposal. As the session proceeds, the House and the Senate will create their own proposals. The initiation and release of budget proposals traditionally alternate between the two chambers each biennium. Once each chamber passes their own proposal, a conference committee made up of Senate and House budget leaders from all the caucuses will be established to negotiate and compromise on a final budget. After final passage, the bill is delivered to the governor for consideration. The governor may veto all or part of the budget. Once the governor signs the budget, it becomes law. Supplemental budgets are used to amend appropriations made in the biennial budget. Supplemental budgets are proposed during even years. These are often described as mid-course corrections to the 2-year spending plans adopted. For example, a biennial budget will be passed in 2023, and then supplemental budgets will be passed in 2024. The reality is that most often supplemental budgets will include appropriations for new programs and shifts to provide for identified needs. Catholic advocates can play a role in the budget process 12 months a year. When the state's agencies begin the work to develop their decision packages, advocates can reach out to agency staff and discuss requests that pertain to the agency's portfolio of work. Once the governor and his policy staff and budget staff receive the decision package proposals, the advocacy shifts to the governor and the Office of Financial Management. Simultaneously, advocates can reach out to legislators and discuss the needs in their communities or work in coalition with others around broader budget and policy issues. Legislators are interested in meetings and can spend more time with their constituents during the interim between legislative sessions. Once a legislative champion has been secured for a budget ask, advocates can work with the legislator to secure the support of the budget writers. The legislative session itself offers advocacy opportunities in the traditional ways, which include testifying at the public budget hearings, using the budget page of the legislature's website to leave comments, using email or the legislative hotline at 1-800-562-6000, 1-800-562-6000. Once the governor receives the legislature's final budget, usually near the end of session, advocacy efforts switch to the governor's office, which will review advocate requests for vetoes or for support of specific budget items. Once the governor signs the budget, it becomes law, and the process begins again. I highly recommend Catholic advocates work through the Catholic Conference to accomplish goals regarding policy and budget issues. As a policy arm of the state's bishops, it's important for the Washington State Catholic Conference to be involved. Collectively, Catholic advocates are an important voice as we meet our responsibility to participate in the public square. We make a difference as we seek to affirm the dignity of the human person and work in service for the common good. Thank you for your work as advocates.